Hey, Renee.
Hey, hey,
Hey, hey.
hey, goodbye.
Okay.
Na, na, na. Okay.
Renee,
Yes.
you s- you said you
Good.
wanted to talk to me about
Let's go back to Second Corinthians 1, 3, and 4.
3 and 4.
Yes, ma'am.
1, 3 through 4. Okay, go ahead. Has to do about comfort. Go
You want
ahead.
to hear it?
I do.
So we already did our intro, huh?
That was it.
Okay. Second Corinthians 1, 3, and 4. All praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the same comfort that God has given us. So we shared that verse in a previous message,
Okay.
but the piece I think we didn't toss around with each other was, wow, so you're sexually abused. How can you turn around and comfort someone else through
Mm,
this, you know? So let's chat about that.
okay.
Just that piece.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is in the word talks about with comfort that God has given us. So I could use an example out of your life, if you don't mind,
Bring
where
it on.
you said that you asked God the hardest question, where were you when I was being abused? And he responded
Yeah,
back to you. Well, you can't be the only person who has had that question come to their mind.
right.
And so you can walk with them to God to help them ask that question.
Yeah,
You could say, I got an answer, but I want to help you carry this question to the cross.
yeah.
And you get your answer that you're needing. He will answer you. And
Pause.
mhm,
Now, when I did that message at the church, you kind of like said, Renee, you can't tell people that God answers, that God's going to speak to you.
oh, well, I don't have to pause. He will speak to you, as in, he's going to speak to you through others. He speaks to you through his word, all these different ways. And if you hear absolutely silence, there must be a reason why there's a silence, and that's the response. I have had children ask me questions that I have born through my body and have asked me questions, and I have not possibly answered them. One of the reasons is they weren't ready. They weren't mature enough for that answer, for me to explain something to them. Two is possibly they weren't ready, not just with maturity, but maybe they weren't ready emotionally
Mm.
to get it as well. The third is this is something for them not to know right now, but they will know in time. There's some things I could not explain to my children. I can't explain to my children the love I have for them that's unconditional. They can get so mad at their friend and can't figure out where this unconditional love is and where it came from. And mom, how can you can do that?
Mm.
And you tell me you will love me no matter what. But I can't do that with my friends. And you know what? I tried explaining that to my oldest daughter several times. I said, it's just something you won't understand until the day you have your own children, probably. You can keep asking God to explain it to you as well, but that's the best I can do. And when she had her own children, you know what? She's never asked me that question. And I'm wondering right now as I sit here, why hasn't she asked me that question? It's because she got her answer.
Mm.
But that was a question she had. It was an honest answer. So sometimes you do get silence when you've asked God something.
True.
But I could tell you a lot of times as I walk the journey and read his word, that I find the answers in his word, or I find it in another person who walks my direction and starts sharing their life story or what they've just heard from God, or even somebody who's been given a word by God to tell me.
Right.
And so I do believe God does answer, but as parents, we know when it's wise to give some answers and other times to say, I could try to explain to you what air looks like the best I can with molecules and everything in science. But the bottom line is you're going to have to walk by faith on this one. You're breathing oxygen. If it wasn't here, you wouldn't be breathing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that comforting part, I've had people comfort me in my hurt that have never been sexually abused, and they've been great comforters to me. My husband has never been sexually abused, and he's a great comforter to me.
Mm.
I've had pastors who, their wives, who have been great comforters to me, yet at the same time have never been sexually abused.
Mm.
But because they were comforted in a different part of their life, they are able to bring, just like that verse says, God's
True.
comfort and put it on me. It's like a
Mm.
healing salve.
Yeah. Because they received that same kind of it's the picture I get is like this furry cape. Those really soft blankets that are out nowadays, and they're just, oh, it's like silk and milk and butter. I don't know. It's like this just they're just so soft, those blankets. You know what I'm talking about that are
Yes,
out now? And the picture I got was it's like God just putting this cape over a person and comforting them that way. Like just, oh, it just feels good. It's warm and you want to just kind of fall into it. And that same soothing that blanket or that cape gave to that person of just kind of just melting them in that moment. They can turn around and do the same thing for us with the experience they've had and give us a taste and make us
that's
want
the
to do that.
taste of that. Yes.
Yeah, and be able to do that. And I've had that as well. I've had that given to me as well from folks like even you. I've gone through a mold illness and I haven't run into many other people that have gone through the same illness that I'm going through. It's just kind of rare.
It's a rare one. It's a rare
We're
one.
all out there, but it's rare. It's not like all your neighbors got it too, and everybody in your circle. But you have been a great comfort to me of just the encouragement, you know, the encouragement and walking through things and helping me remember things and helping direct. There has been so much comfort that you've brought, but you don't know anything about mold except for what you look up or what you hear from me.
That's true. I learn a lot
You
from
know?
you.
But then you flip it around, and I think that's part of why we do Await to Joy is we've been given this comfort from God.
Yes.
He walks through these hurdles and these ups and downs that we experience. And I believe that's part of why we're driven to do Awake to Joy in person, on video, on podcasts, is because we want to bring that same comfort.
Yeah, we want to bring that message.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Deliver what God has given to us and give it to others so that it's not so hard for others. I kind of feel like it's been like a pair of shoes with, the shoestrings tied too hard.
I know
And
that
or
thought.
too
Yeah.
tight, and you just kind of like, oh, I need to get up and run and fall on your face. So some things we have fallen on our face with, and some things we have really struggled with, and things that have really hurt, and things that we have chosen to do instead of choosing God, right away. But coming on and sharing the message allows us to keep others from having that tied up shoestring, shoe trip, and the fail. We're helping people not do all of that failing first, but going to God first.
Yeah.
Save you from that heartache and bring you that comfort, And there are tough things that we have had come across our desk, come across our front doors, come across the phone, that I'll be honest, at times it's like, I'll take the phone and go, God, I don't even know how to respond to this one. It's like, this is, left field. Kind of like you've said in the past, I thought I heard it all.
I thought I heard it all. I thought I heard the worst that humanity could do to another human. And no, it's always worse. And And in that, I'm able to go, okay, God, but you comforted me. Help
Right.
me share your comfort with them, the comfort they're needing at this time.
Yeah. We may not know how to walk in that same walk. We may not have had that sort of abuse happen to us. We may not have had that kind of major incident go on in our life, but we got a God that's big enough for any of it.
Yes.
And we've experienced, I call it, we've experienced the download of comfort. We've experienced the download of giving us the breath to just move forward in the next breath.
In the next breath and the next step. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what that verse meant to me. Yeah. I find great joy in it
Me too.
because it's an active verse.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that we are not stagnant in our situations, meaning, how can I say that? Meaning we're stuck like a rock and we can't go nowhere with it. I'm grateful that God uses the crud, comforts us in it, and then we're able to move out of it and share what we receive from him with others. It would kind of be a not so fun life to not be able to share with others the comfort we got, to pass it on, like, to paying it forward, to passing it on, to sharing it. There's a joy that comes from that. I couldn't have done it though without Christ giving it in the first place.
First, right. He had to do first.
So anyway, thank you for clarifying some things.
You
And
got
sharing.
it. All right. I'll talk to you again.
All right, bye.
Bye.